Your case is funny. We've definitely seen it in my case. Oddly enough, we got one guy up here who it went pretty smoothly the first time. And I'm hoping that it's going to stay that way. Would you agree, MJ, that yours went? Yeah, he's saying his went. Hey, before I go to you, Matrix, MJ, will you tell us? I don't want to put it on any bad energy. How well it went during our first encounter. That's your first time ever in court on your own, right?
Yeah. Extremely well. I mean, like the facts will stick to, and it was like it was even shocking to you, G. I mean, I didn't. It's like when you go into something, you don't know what to experience, but like even to you, G, you say like, man, that was one of the smoothest I done seen. You know what I'm saying? Because like you say, they follow the facts.
And the law. She said this has to be done. You need to have it here. This has to be done. You need to have it here. You can't use that in here because it's this kind of hearing. At the time, I don't know if we had served her or we hadn't mentioned that we served her, but we got that or that you had served her. So that stuff now matters. And I think we were in a unique situation. I don't want to talk about it here, but I think we might be in a pretty good place.
Yeah,
Don't jinx him, Greg. Knock on some wood, man.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
Brent, and to that point, Brent, like you sit back and it's like you been in a bunker ready for war. You still got your gun loaded. Like you,
Yeah.
but you say, all right, tonight I'll probably get a little rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a few of those, but yeah, absolutely. So I definitely remember. We go to my man Matrix, and I appreciate everybody who happens to be here. And I hope that some of the people who may be more economically challenged than you guys uh will pop in and ask a couple of questions. I hit your button. What does he have to do once I tell him to unmute Dele?
Just if you're on a phone or tablet, tap on your screen, hit the reaction button, and then raise your hand emoji.
Okay, I think he's on. What's going on, Matrix?
Going on, fellas? Just want to speak. Uh, so you're talking to people for the most part. I caught the majority of what you were saying. So you're talking to people that have mostly had to deal with contracts and reading contracts. The average person don't do that. They just don't. That's why I'm dealing with the law or dealing with how words can seem to certain people. That's why some things seem smoother than to others because they're not in places where they have to read these type of these contracts, pages and pages of wordplay. That's why a lot of the people that you say are on this line are successful because of that. If you don't, if you don't want to read, or if you don't be in place for people that can interpret the words to you, then most of the time people end up being, I would say, knowledge efficient, and they're just not. They just can't grab it. And by the time they get on this line where you're drilling them and you saying, "Hey, man, this got to be done. It's got to be done. It's got to be done." A lot of times they've never had to do it, so they don't understand what you're saying, and they think you're too harsh.
Well, there's something else.
And I'm not saying you. I'm just saying dealing with the whole process as
Oh,
far
it's
as
fine. It's fine. I'm going to be that way. I'm a coach, but I'm going to tell you something that's also interesting for those who are on this line. Everybody's an athlete. I just looked at it real quickly. BA, high-end baseball player. Brett played football. You played football in Southeast. I mean, in Bradenton. Daly's
Mhm.
a basketball player. MJ's a football player, and I played football. I'm wondering if that. I don't know. Brett has his own this thing about guys who have because he's I won't say part of the manosphere because I didn't enter into the manosphere that way. I was on the other side of it, kind of like what even before Kevin did what Kevin was doing. I was doing more what they call pickup the pickup stuff, which wasn't really my passion. But I'm just wondering, is it the competitive nature? I think just has to be in you in order to do what we're talking about here. But the crazy part is everybody on the line could afford representation. And I do recommend people get high representation, but something made him decide to it would have helped if MJ would have been a little bit kinder, but he said you can really get jammed uh if you don't have the right resources. And I know he wasn't just talking about economic resources, but if you don't have these resources, you can be in a really bad place. Um,
But he's not. But he's not wrong. He's not wrong in that. If you don't surround yourself with useful tools, meaning me, you, whoever in the circle, we're useful. If you don't, if you're not useful, at least you need to get around people that are useful. But you got to be able to bring some kind of value, whether it's monetary or whatever. You got to be able to bring something. And a lot of times people don't want to bring anything, but they want to absorb everything that you have, which is always our problem, especially in our community.
Dele, waiting for you.
Which part?
Well, you have a unique perspective too, because you have a global perspective. What do you think